My name is Zed, and today we're talking about political party affiliation in the United States of America. So, trigger warning. It's a mess. This is ridiculous. I mean, we as Americans right now are working against our own best interests. And I guess before I go into pointing fingers and whatnot, I should first explain, what do I think America is? To me, America is a very simple idea. It is a country that was formed in the time of kings and queens, people who were authoritarian that said, do as I say because I said so. If you do not, I will pull you out into the street and I will make an example out of you. And then along came this new nation, first set up as a territory by one of these king and queen superpowers. But the very wealthy people that were here decided, no, we're no longer going to take orders from people that are far across the sea, people who are more than willing to take our money in taxes, but then not represent our best interests. And there's a lot of differences that go with that story, but essentially, that's the main thing, the main theme, the same thing that we learn in grade school, the idea that we realized that it was time for us to lead ourselves. So, whether you believe it was a bunch of white men that were being greedy and selfish to one another, so they ensured that not one of them got control of the other, so no one could be more powerful than any of the others, or that they were true citizens that were trying to make a promise to every citizen that would follow. Point being is our forefathers set forth a promise that this government, those who would be the representatives of the American people, would be chosen by and for the American people. Just that simple. The laws also chosen by and for. So this is a place where we get to either hang ourselves out to dry or succeed because we're working together. That's what America is. Because that is what we established ourselves as, the promised land of freedom and opportunity. People from all over the world came here. And because of that, we became this huge melting pot, this amazing microcosm of the world itself. We brought in all the foods and all the cultures and all the different perspectives, and we brought them into one place under the banner of freedom and opportunity. The idea being that each of these people get to contribute what makes them an amazing person. So somebody's a great singer, somebody's a great musician, somebody's great at sports, somebody's a great thinker, somebody's cool math, somebody's cool with... Doesn't matter. All those talents get to come together, and Americans get to benefit. That's what America is. America is a collection of amazing people from all over the world that came together to make freedom and opportunity a reality. So, do I like America? Fuck yeah. Do I think America is the greatest nation in the world? Right now, absolutely not. No, I'd say right now we're kind of the joke of the world. And not because we don't have the most expensive military, and not because, we just had one president that made us look foolish. No. Because we are that amalgamation of the world. We are this collection of greatness. So much fucking potential. And it gets squandered for the dumbest reasons. That's why we're not the greatest nation. Because anybody else who's even trying to ensure that they're progressing or advancing or becoming a better version of themselves, they're just blowing past us. Why? Well, in my personal opinion, it's because we're too busy fighting one another. We have forgotten that we are on the American team. All of us. You, if you're racist and you're from the South and you're super into God, and you, if you're from the Northwest and you're not into God and you're not racist, blah, blah. Yes, all of you make America amazing. But we also have the potential to make this country fucking blow. And that's where we are right now. And it's our own faults. We don't have the luxury of being able to point across the aisle and say, nope, it's just them. I mean, you could. You're wrong. You're wrong as shit. So I guess you could, but we can't. We can't, in good faith, in good knowing that we're doing the right thing or telling the truth, we cannot say it's just them. Because it is them, absolutely. So no matter what side of the aisle you find yourself on, no matter what smaller team outside of the American team you associate with. So I'm on the racist side. I'm only on the evangelical Christian side. I'm only on the vegan side. I'm only on the Doesn't matter. We are forgetting that we're all on the American side. And because of that, something horrible is happening. Because again, America is simply the greatness of its people bound together by a promise. The promise of liberty, of rights, of freedom, of a vote. That's where the opportunity comes from. That's where the freedom comes from. That simple fucking contract. That Constitution. But because we've been divided onto all these separate teams, this is where it gets a bit conspiratorial. The greedy motherfuckers at the top are more than happy to take those rights away from us to ensure that we cannot stop them from doing what is their one goal. And what is that goal? More. Doesn't matter how I get it. I don't care who I have to step on. We want more. So, I'm going to sell out the American people. I'm going to sell out all the people on a different continent. I'm going to abuse them, and I'm going to take any resource I can, and I'm going to get it to myself. And sure, while I leave this foreign nation, that resource that I've taken from them, that I've allowed them to kill each other for, I'm going to say it's only worth like a penny. That's all this is worth. It's a raw material. Who the fuck cares? But as soon as I put it on my vessel, as soon as I take it across the water or in the sky to America, now it's expensive. Now that thing that was just worth one penny suddenly becomes very, very, very valuable. Because that's the point, is to take something and claim it's not valuable, get it to me, the wealthy, powerful person, and now I can claim it's the most powerful fucking thing in the world because I have that power. Okay. These people are coming after our rights and our freedoms. Why? Why would they care? Why would they break a system that is working so well for them? I hear you asking, even though I don't. Because we've shown them that their game is up. That Americans have already decided, no, we're no longer going to take it. Bernie Sanders was this fucking close. He came out and everybody was against him. Everybody who was part of, the system, as it were. Those people who work for those powerful fucks that are continually looking for more. Because yes, also our representatives, they don't represent us. But we'll get to that. Point being is that he came out and basically said, no, it's dumb. Fucking greedy people have been too greedy for too long. It's time for them to actually put into this nation that they claim to respect and love. And we were going to elect him. We didn't have the opportunity on the Republican side to have that vote yet because it wasn't, the actual election. We were still deciding who was going to run on the Democratic side. And yes, I was absolutely paying attention to the Democratic side. Am I a Democrat? No, abso-fucking-lutely not. I'm as much a Democrat as I am a Republican. So, no. But I am a registered Republican. But I was going to vote for Bernie Sanders. Gladly. Super gladly. But I didn't. Why didn't I? Because as soon as it was clear that Bernie Sanders was actually winning over the American people, that he was convincing a bunch of us who were basically in sleep mode as we go through life, that there is a better thing that we could be doing. It's not going to solve all our problems. It's just going to make things slightly better, closer to being what would be a land of opportunity and freedom, where it's not that we're working continuously to pay the bills for all these wealthy corporations. Instead, it would be that Anybody that comes here to have that opportunity and freedom has to put in to ensure that the opportunity and freedom keep going. Corporations are not special. That's them. That's it. It's just that simple. You call yourself an American company, you have to pay American taxes. Well, we don't want... I don't give a shit what your excuse is. That's the whole point. Do you benefit from America? Yes. Should you have to put in to ensure that America continues to be an amazing place that you can benefit from? Yes. Easy peasy. So we were going to elect this guy who was basically saying that exact same thing. Yes, if people are here and they call themselves an American corporation and they're making billions upon billions of dollars from Americans, they're more than willing to take billions or trillions of dollars in any kind of government handout. Should they be expected to pay anything back? Yes. Okay, we're going to vote for you. We want that. That's awesome. That means that the boot's off of our back slightly. We get to keep a little bit of our own money, and maybe life just gets better. We feel as though, our representatives are representing us even the slightest bit. But no. As soon as it was clear that he had an actual chance, that he became the front runner, the powers that be flipped the fuck out. And they said, whoa! These people are going to use their voice, their vote, this freedom, their rights that they're guaranteed by this Constitution or whatever, and they are going to make it harder for me to increase my profit next quarter, next year, next whatever. I will not allow that to happen. So suddenly, all the representatives who are supposed to be Republican or Democrat, doesn't matter because they're all on the same fucking side. They're working for, daddy big bucks up at the top. They don't represent us anymore, unfortunately. Well, it's not true. We have very few representatives that do represent us. And the way you can tell that they are the ones who actually are trying to represent the interests of people, us, regular fucking people, is when both sides are totally okay with attacking that person. So they don't just get attacked by the other side, which is common, because, that's the game. They're supposed to not be friends. Yeah, they go out and they have drinks after work, and they know each other's family and friends, and love each other, and so on and so forth, but they are actually enemies. And we can only support one, damn it. But no, they get attacked from both sides. From their own side, saying, no, these people, they're too hopeful. They're pie in the sky. No, they're young, dumb, and they're full of hope. And here we are as representatives of the corporate powers that be, and we're not here to allow hope to prevail. Because hope is something that means that maybe I have to make just a little bit less. Because my bosses are going to make just a little bit less. And you know who's going to get the shit end of that stick? Me, the representative. So now I have to do everything I can to ensure that the bosses get everything they want, so maybe they can kick a little bonus down to me. Trickle down and stuff. So yeah, every other candidate was pulled. Because of course every other candidate was, somehow involved with, money. Because that was what their interests are. Not just the ability to represent people, not the ability to make America better, not the ability to serve as a public servant. No. That's not why they were running. They were running for that sweet, sweet money, that power and influence. Please, sir, may I get a cut of your amazing profit? I'll do whatever it is you say. Well, good. Now I'm saying get the fuck out of the race. We need to make sure that this becomes something between two folks. The guy that everybody really wants and the person we need to convince everybody that they actually want. And that's what happened. So everybody else is gone. Now it's just Bernie. And they add Joe. And suddenly every news channel is saying, what? This is the only guy that can win. He's the only one that can beat that horrendous Donald Trump. Do you want Donald Trump to be president again? Do you want him to become the new dictator for life? Well, then you have to vote for Biden. He's the only one that can do it. And on repeat. And people fell for it. Because unfortunately, we do not control the narrative. We don't control the messaging. It's just that simple. So suddenly the conversation turned from Bernie Sanders actually representing the people, which no other news channel wanted to put out there. I mean, with the exception of the Young Turks, maybe, yeah, there's a couple out there but main news networks? Fuck no. No. Some of them even refuse to say his name. So as he's winning, beating out the competition, they do ridiculous stuff and say, look who's in second place. They're almost in first place. Right. But who's in first place? How weird it is how you focus on certain stories and how to focus our attention on certain aspects that you would benefit from. Huh. But again, that's not something on one side. That's on both sides. Because again, our representatives are on the same team. They just want to convince us that we're not. So when it comes to representatives, when it comes to the GOP and the liberal side, I don't consider myself to fall into either of those groups. I'm an American. Absolutely an American. So I'm able to step back and look at these two groups as they interact with one another. And I've realized that it's all a big game. It's a theater piece. And on one side, you have the actual mouthpiece of the powers that be, the corporate overlords. These are the go-getters and the get shit done. But they're well aware that wealthy people can't just do what they want. There's going to be people who are unhappy about the situation that, benefits only a select few and everybody else gets the shit end of the stick. So there's going to be people that complain. So what do we do to get our way? We represent the other side as well. So on the liberal side, instead, their job is not to be the working horse of the powers that be, our corporate overlords. No. Their job is to be our friends. Oh, yeah, you see what's going on over there with those Republicans and the GOP? Man, that's really bad, and I don't agree with it either. Vote for me and join my team. Send me all your money, and I'll go there and I'll support you. Yeah, I'm going to end up losing because that's what I'm paid to do, but I'm going to make sure that you feel as though you're being listened to, that you have someone in your corner. You just have to give me all your hope, all your money, all of your passion. Feed it into me. Let it empower me so that I can get up there. I'm going to fight for you, and then I'm going to lose because that's what I do. Which is exactly what Joe Biden is doing now, who, again, is on that liberal side. The side of, oh, shucks and darn, we just couldn't stop these guys. They're too powerful. There was one rule standing in our way that we could have studied and found a way around. There was one person who we had to actually convince that we were doing the right thing. Shucks darn. But it's tiring. And what's even more tiring is that we, the people, are falling for this bullshit. So now we find ourselves in a social climate where on the GOP, the side that, again, is just representing the powers that be. So why people vote for them, I don't know. I mean, I guess the closest that I've been able to see, and I guess this could be considered very judgmental, is that we're all the same. Again, we're all Team America. But the difference is the political party that we as the individual people, the voters, fall on, generally has to do with our hope. Yeah. So if you feel as though America should represent you, that you will actually be able to be the best version of yourself, that you can actually succeed just on your own merits. So by being an amazing individual, by putting hard work and determination into whatever it is you want to be good at, there's a high chance that you're going to be on the liberal side. So these are the people with hope that have the idea that if we just do something, it can get better. So generally when you have, people that are out protesting and so on and so forth, it's going to be on the liberal side because they're saying, hey, here's an injustice and we're trying to get it fixed. And all we have to do is come out here and stand in the street, make life slightly harder for some individuals, and maybe we'll get our way. Maybe someone will listen. But eventually, those hopeful people get broken by the system, where I'm trying to be an artist, so on and so forth. I realize that I can't do art without, somebody that's willing to buy it. So now I have to sell, what people want to buy. So I'm going to do less what I want to do, and I'm going to do more what other people are asking me to do. And that creeps in, and it becomes a little more prevalent, and I'm just going to give up this, or I'm just going to go along. I shouldn't have hope anymore. That hope is dangerous. It's a thing that only a stupid kid would have. Some kid that doesn't understand that this system is completely fucked. That there's no way for you to become the best version of yourself by just trying hard. No. You have to sell out a little bit. You have to work a job you don't like. You have to marry someone that you may not particularly love. You have to do these things that, there's no more hope. It's resigning to, I guess. This, to me, is the Republican side. The people that once had hope and then sold out. And I guess it's because it's true in my own life. I've seen people that go through that. I have the ability to learn more. I have the ability to improve, just be a better person. I recognize that people are lying to me, and I want to point out that they're lying to me so that I can make sure that they're not lying to other people. This will help the world. I'm going to improve the world for those who come after me. Oh, no, I tried that. I got smacked in the face. I got hit down so hard. Some authoritative person made an example of me. And they put me in my place. Now I've lost my hope. Now I understand that there is a crushing system that either I'm going to be crushed by or that I can feed into and hope that I can benefit from it. And yeah, I was there. Again, I said I'm a registered Republican. I was a patriot boner, America-loving guy straight out of high school. Joined the military. I was going to prove myself. I was going to earn my citizenship. Not that I was a foreign person. I just felt as though, like the idea of Israeli conscription, I think that's what it's called, conscription, where every citizen has to serve. Because, again, like I say, America to me is the idea that we all come together and we use what we have to offer, and we add that to the pot, and that makes everything much better. Sure, I didn't feel when I was young with a patriot boner that I should be able to call myself a citizen. I shouldn't have the ability to vote if I haven't put myself forward to defend the nation that I claim to love. So I joined. And yeah, I realized that I just had lots of realizations. And I found out that I basically realized that all this is a manipulation. Everything that I'm going to say here. And it came in little bits, and now it's been a little bit of time, so I've been able to kind of center my mind around it, make sense of everything, and speak in at least a clearer way, trying to get that message out to other people so that we can all see the goofy-ass problem. Then we can work together to find the solutions. But, yeah, as soon as I saw that this was the situation, it became, okay, so the GOP kind of just stands for God or patriotism, because those are really the two flexing points that they generally go on, which made sense why I was a registered Republican, because I was pro-America, and I was raised in a religious family. So as I was joining and going to war, I figured, hey, instead of having, I think it was Gore versus Bush, then I'd rather have Bush be the president, because he's going to support me. If I'm going overseas, he's going to be the one that's going to actually care that I'm there. He's the one that's going to ensure that I have the best tools and equipment and so on and so forth. Turns out I was fucking wrong, because the whole point of George W. Bush was that he just wanted to get the war started. Generally speaking, they don't care too much when you're there. I mean, yes, if it makes them look better or creates a good positive spin on a story for America, you might get some cool weaponry. But otherwise, you're going to be sent out there with, the bare minimum. We're not going to get into that. Just lowest bidder. Anybody from the military understands what I'm talking about. So yeah. And I debated, am I going to sell out? And I found myself basically in the crux where, yes, I see that this is a giant manipulation where people are selling these goofy narratives to the American people, and the American people are more than willing to buy it up. So why would I not just add my own story to that? Why not just add my own slight manipulation and then make sure that I become wealthy? Easy enough. It's not like anybody else isn't doing it, so, it's clearly okay. But no, I couldn't. I don't know if you want to say that my parents raised me better or, maybe I'm a big old bitch. Who knows? But the point is that in that moment, and I had created quite a bit of different ideas in my head. The greatest one was going to be called like direct line prayer services, where I was just going to set up relationships with churches all across the United States. A bunch of churches that, again, are just looking for money, in my personal opinion. So all you have to do is say, hey, I'm going to set up a business where I got a bunch of people that are going to be in the worst parts of their life. They're going to be trying to somehow communicate with the heavens above. And they're going to try and get a message to save my husband, save my son, save my whoever it is that they're trying to save at that moment. Save my own life. And at that point, they're going to be willing to part with quite a bit of money because that will be the moment of desperation. So yeah, just set up a company where basically I become friends with a bunch of churches. Somebody sends me a prayer that they want to reach God. And now I'm going to send that prayer out to all these different churches to ensure that it will be spoken in somebody's mass, in hundreds of different masses, so that thousands of different parishioners or followers are going to hear your prayer and maybe put a little bit of emphasis behind your message, the prayer that's trying to get up to God. And yeah, unfortunately, it would be a very profitable company because I wouldn't have to do anything. I would literally set up the company, set it up online so that it would all automatically feed out, and then just roll in the money. So, but I can't. That's taking someone who's in one of the worst points of their life and making money off of it. And then I started to realize that we're all kind of in the worst moments of our life, especially now with the pandemic and all the stress of a civil war potential coming on, and just, it's garbage. So we're all in a horrible moment of our life. And our representatives are still okay with making money off of it. The corporate overlords are still fine with just sending like a heart or thoughts and prayers type message out there. Something that literally adds nothing to the world. So that they can continue to profit off of our grief, our pain, our suffering. Because that's what drives things up. So, and that's just one idea. And I know that that's kind of not a great idea. So it doesn't give you a good clue as to who I am. But yeah. I think now my dream companies would be that hopefully I'll eventually be able to own enough property. And what I want to do is I want to set aside like an acre. So not very much land, but a good acre where I can just go around to all the animal shelters and find those dogs that they will put down. Because unfortunately they even put down animals in no-kill shelters. Because, again, it's just a selling point. We're a no-kill shelter. We killed less than 10% of our, our pets, our animals that we're responsible for. Yeah. Maybe you shouldn't call yourself no-kill. Maybe you should call yourself less than 10% kill shelter. All natural. What does that mean? Well, we're 80% natural. The rest is all artificial. But we can call ourselves all natural. That's a bit of a tangent. That would be great. To set up a place where there's so many people that lose loved ones and then have to pay so much money to put them in the ground to just deal with the body. So it's not only that you have a loved one who's lost, it's not that you're in a horrible situation in your life where you don't have enough money to spend $40,000 to $60,000 on funeral or, burial services. So a lot of us end up, what can we do? Well, let's cremate that body because it's cheaper for someone to put it in a, oven, burn it, and then give us the ashes that remain. I would love to be able to set up a free cemetery. Obviously you could accept donations, so people that feel like it is something beneficial to the world can donate to it. But that way it doesn't charge those who are in the darkest moment of their life. Instead of it being a regular type of cemetery, it should be something where you get naturally put into the ground with, there's all sorts of different kinds of boxes that they make out of, root fibers and things that are actually biodegradable, things that will help break down the human body to ensure that it gets added to the world. But then you could plant a tree on top of it. So now not only do we have a place that is free to offer burial services for those who lose loved ones, but the person who is lost is now going to be beneficial to the earth, to the future generations. The tree that we could plant there, which, you would allow people to choose from whatever is, safe for the region that you're in. Now there's a tree that will grow. A tree that will provide life and love and clean air to the world that is, left behind by this person. So you could come and visit this tree, sit in the shade and remember the person. You could, whatever it is. But the whole point is that now we're basically setting up a forest that is protected. And ask any indigenous people to see, how protected burial grounds truly are. And unfortunately, not as well as they should be. But then again, it's basically helping the future. So now we helped the present day and we've planted a tree that's going to help in the future. It will hopefully stick around. And who knows? Maybe you could do that and set up the Amazon forest in the Midwest. God, that would be amazing. Now, if you do it and there's enough people there and it becomes an actual forest where there's wildlife and so on and so forth, now you'd have to hire people that would be the ranger services or whatever it would be. Wildlife services. Colleges could come and learn. But the whole point is that you're just adding. It's not something that takes and takes and takes. It's something that adds. Because it recognizes that we all have these certain things to confront in life, and here's a way that we can help. Because not all of us have the ability to put our loved ones into a golden sarcophagus and build a pyramid in their honor. So what do we do? Well, again, tangents. It's just so frustrating because, again, we have so much potential. We really are an amazing nation. And it has nothing to do with our representatives. It has nothing to do with the corporations. It has very little to do with our military. Anything that is good about politicians, the fucking companies, or the military, the only good things that come from those are when it comes from us. So yeah, politics is garbage. But when you go to a political rally, you can meet up with a bunch of like-minded people and you can, start a community and so on and so forth. So the goodness you feel didn't come from the politician fuck. It came from you and the others that were there to participate. When the military goes out and does something that's amazing and heroic, it's not because the military said that that's what you're supposed to do. Here are your orders. Go out there and be a fucking hero. No, if anything, they say the exact opposite. Don't be a hero. Don't be a John Wayne. Do as you're fucking told. But every once in a while, there are soldiers that go out. Soldiers, Marines, airmen, seamen, all the kinds of people. I was in the Army, I guess. That's why. Anyhow, point being. It's the individuals that end up doing the amazing things. The things that make us proud. So, a statue at Iwo Jima. The fucking storming the beach at Normandy. So was it brave that the United States military dropped off a bunch of our people on a beach where they were going to get shot and murdered? No. But the amazing part is that after they did drop off American people to die, Americans rallied. They said, fuck this. If I'm going to die, I'm going out in a blaze of glory. And they pushed fucking forward. Because we are amazing. The pieces of shit that are basically controlling the game and ensuring that any good thing that you have to offer is going to benefit them. That's what's tiring. We are allowing it to happen. It's time for that to stop. I'm not here to be your representative. I'm not here to ask you to join my team. I'm asking you to recognize that we are already on the same team. That if you succeed, it will be because I have the ability to succeed. If I fail, you are likely to fail. Our fates are intertwined. The rights and freedoms and liberties that are promised to you are also promised to me. So if we're out there and we're talking about, well, no, these people are black, these people are Jewish, these people are Southern, these people are, doesn't fucking matter. These people are American. These people are going to live and die the same way you live or die. If you are working against them, you are working against yourself. And I don't know why. There are many shills. So there are some people that I am very okay with saying that they are sellouts. So Tuk Tuk, yeah, that is the perfect example of a sellout. Which is great because, no, that's negative. Tuk Tuk, a great example of a sellout. Someone who went from to station looking for someone that was going to give him the money so that he could feel like he was doing something. So he started off in liberal places. Liberal. I'm bouncing around. Who's going to take me? Nope. All right, more moderate. Are you going to take me? Nope. Oh, shit. I got shamed big time. Turns out the people here do a little bit too much thinking and asking of the questions. Where else can I go? Fuck. Oh, I know. I'll go to that one place that is the only station that a whole side of the aisle watches. So I'll go there. Maybe they'll listen to me. I think there was even audio of this Tuk Tuk individual, with 3 Ks, of course, who was talking about how, he is his boss's little bitch. And yeah, absolutely. It's very weird that you were able to admit it, but yes, absolutely. You will do and say whatever it is that your boss tells you to do. You are his little bitch. But for some reason, people still want to listen because it's captivating. It's because it's all fear-mongering. I don't watch this individual. I don't watch the network that they're on. But to be fair, I don't watch any of the other networks on the other side because they're just as fucking stupid. Difference is that on the other side, they're making excuses for why, they couldn't stand up against the powers that be that Tuk Tuk was empowering, who Tuk Tuk works for. So, but I don't know why we do it. So the people that watch Tuk Tuk, I don't know if you're in a situation where you have given up and it's just like, well, I gotta go with the system, otherwise I'll get chewed up by the system. And you've given up and you've sold out completely? Or is it that you still believe that America is amazing and that it really is just that they're pushing the buttons on God and on your patriotism that's driving people into a fervor? Because I get that on this particular news network, it's all about you should be afraid, be very, very fucking afraid. Whatever you do, don't look behind you. Don't look at the bosses and the people that, I'm going to tell you are doing what's best for you. Instead, you need to look at all the little piddly fucks that are like you, the ones who also don't have a say, whose voice and vote is becoming less and less important. they're the problems. Oh no, you're not going to believe that one? Well, it's the people that aren't even American yet. The immigrants. They're coming here. They're coming across those goddamn borders, and they're gonna. Yeah, because it's their fault that you're in a shitty position. It's not at all the people that are in control. The ones who, with a snap of their fingers, could ensure that you get paid a fair wage. With a snap of your fingers, could ensure that you don't get taxed nearly as much. With a flick of their fingers, snap of their fingers, they could ensure that those who start a business and fail miserably, whether they're too big to fail or not, will be allowed to fail because they're clearly not good business people. Yeah? Nope. There's a bus driver. The bus driver got in an accident, but they're too important because the bus has to move, so I guess we have to keep letting them drive. Oh, look, they got in another accident. Well, what are we going to do? I guess we have to let the bus driver keep driving. Oh, we got another accident. What? Really? How many accidents do we have to get into? How many times do we have to run into the same wall before we're like, that's a wall. Shit, hold on. Step to the side. Look at there. There's an opening. I just got through easy peasy. So I don't know where we are. But I imagine that we as Americans, the American people, all pretty much want the same thing. We want those freedoms, the rights and the liberties that we're supposed to be guaranteed. We want to be able to walk down the street and go to our job, go to our kids' school, go to the store, without worrying about being shot or raped or kidnapped. But there are certain mouthpieces for the conservative side that are just so disappointing. I heard somebody say something about, oh, I always thought that when somebody came up and in a black van in an unmarked vehicle and just kidnapped someone off the street, straight black bag them. Yeah, I thought that would be the bad guys. But now those people are on my side, so it's weird that they're not the bad guys. They did the thing that only bad guys do, but now, I guess that's what good guys do. Really? That's a pretty big fucking leap. So is that just, well, someone said it, and they said it in a way that made it appear as though it was acceptable? Or is it that we're really on the side where it's like, well, no, my side can't do any wrong. No matter what, the ends justify the means. Because if so, well, then I guess you shouldn't be surprised if after the revolution or the Civil War is done, if you happen to win, that those handlers at the top say, well, we're good now. We're done. We don't need your help anymore. But wait, this was the point where I was supposed to get, the payment for doing all this work for you. Yeah, well, your payment was that you got to do that work for me. You could have been on the losing side. Yep. So, and don't think that I'm just trying to pick on the GOP. The thing that sucks is that, like I said, it's not only that it's the giving up side, it's the side that not only gave up, but that decided that those hopeful people on the other side are actually the enemy. Those ones that want America to actually fulfill its promises and so on and so forth. They're the ones that are trying to destroy America. So it's just frustrating to see those people that say, well, I've given up hope. Now you need to give up hope too. You need to be like me and just accept the fact that we are servants to these corporate overlords. So instead, I'm going to oppose you. You want to do this thing? You want to get paid a fair wage? No, not allowed. Is there a good reason? Doesn't matter. I'm not willing to have this argument with you. Instead, I'm going to get very physical. I'm going to start threatening. I'm going to start saying things like, I'm going to go to people's houses and pull them out. Bro, if that's what America is to you, get the fuck out. You are clearly not a good American. Because a good American would not be happy if a fellow American, regardless of what side they were on, got dragged out of their house and executed in the fucking street. But no, they're on your side. That must be okay. Ugh. It's just goofy to see people get convinced to do just the most horrific shit. And unfortunately, I think that goes back to religion. And yeah, I know. People are going to be like, oh, fuck, another atheist is talking shit about religion. Right. Where else do we get the message that you need to do what you were told, otherwise you will fucking pay? Where did that come from? No, there's kings and queens. Yeah, but they are only kings and queens because they use religion to justify their royalty. Their closeness to God is what got them a crown. So, again, they took it from religion. Or are you saying that before that story came, there was nobody who ever decided to force their way on people? What about the Sumerian people? What about in the Fertile Crescent? There was no war. We have archaeological evidence. Yeah, there was war. There were occasionally people who were trying to force their way on others. And I bet that we find lots of bodies of those people who tried to force their way on others. On others who were like, yeah, no, you don't get to force that on me because fuck you. But now those people that want to force, they're in charge. And they have an amazing story that allows them to also be because I say soers. Chances are that if you were like me and you were raised in a religious household, your parents became because I say soers. Because there is no good justification for what they're saying. Just as anybody that's saying because I say so is also someone that's probably going to be wearing an assault rifle, standing on a street corner trying to convince people to do what they are supposed to do. AKA, I just want to scare people. I myself am so terrified that I need to have a gun to protect myself. I feel as though America is so far gone, I can't even stand on this street without being armed. I'm tough. Pretty sure the tough guy is the one that's standing on the street without the fucking semi-automatic firearm. But okay, whatever we gotta tell ourselves. And yeah, I'm getting off on a tangent. The whole fucking point of me being here, the whole point of me putting my message out into the world is the hope that we can come together, to recognize that we are already on the American team, and to find our own solutions, because our representatives will not do it for us. They will not. So how can we figure out how to replace them? Well, right now we're so divided we can't. There's not a way for us to easily come together to just be American, because we've spent so much time separating ourselves, dividing ourselves into these echo chambers. My hope is that we can stop that. We can start the process of bringing us together. The way I would like to do it, my stupid fucking idea from a stoner guy that, is unemployed at this moment, would be that we bring 4 people that are not of the same mindset, but 4 Americans together. So a Republican, a Democrat, gay and straight, black and white, so on and so forth, doesn't matter. 4 different people together. And we focus on a single problem. Just try and find an answer for it. So abortion. What should we do about abortion in America? Well, I'm a religious person, so I'm talking about this. Well, I'm not a religious person, and frankly, I think it's about freedom. And I'm this, and I think this, and I'm this, and I think this, and yes, blah, blah, blah. It's all going to start off as talking points, the same bullshit that we hear from our representatives. But because we're there and we recognize we're on the same team, we can get past that bullshit. We can get to the point where we start to see the humanity of one another. The fact that we're not there to destroy. We're not there to harm each other. We're really there to find the answer. And then anything is possible. So yeah, we might find some really good answers. We might find some really stupid answers. But it will also show that we are on the same team. That we are working together for the same goal. That we can come together. Yes. This is the important part. Because yeah, nothing's going to change if we just put 1 new representative in or 2 new representatives in, because they are clearly, they are not the majority. So when everybody else is already, praying to daddy, big bucks, the onesie twosie isn't going to change that. So let's fuck them off. find the way that we can do it. Say, here's this citizen, sworn statement basically saying that you're either going to tell us every single fucking penny you've ever received from anybody, which will compare against your voting records to determine whether or not you are worth, you were actually representing us or representing the people that paid you. Or if you don't want to give us that information because you're clearly corrupt as shit, get the fuck out. Just walk. Right now, resign. Recognize that you do not get to represent anybody again in the United States of America, but just go. Yeah, you won't be in trouble. Fine, whatever. But bye. Fairly certain at least 75% of the current representatives would be gone. As soon as they got that choice, I've made my money, I've done what I wanted to do, I'm fucking out. You're going to have some stupid people that are going to stick around, which is great, because that'll just show us that there was a reason why we're doing it all. And it's not one side or the other. No, all of them. But, yeah, that's just one stupid idea. But if we were working together, I bet there's a lot of smart people out there who have better ideas than me. My hope is to start bringing us together so we can hear them, so we can start putting them into action. And who knows? Maybe we can make America the greatest nation in this world. Because we should be. Absolutely. We're just not. But it's up to us. It's up to you. Thank you. My name is Zed. Join me or don't. Fuck. I don't know.